When we give our team balance and freedom and help them eliminate emergencies and crises, we really put them in a position where they can win, they can succeed, they feel safe. And the result of that is that your culture is stronger, your company grows, and you can serve your clients at such a higher level. And so on today's episode, we're going to talk about two of our guiding principles here at Business Marketing Engine that help us achieve that. And I'm going to encourage you to listen in and ask yourself, how can you take some of what we have in our principles, or how can you model after this, or how can you call out your own principles that will help give your team the safety that they need emotionally, the safety that they need, in the work environment, the safety they need inside of client interactions that will help them really grow and succeed. So stay tuned and we will dive into this. Over the years, I've worked in situations, some internally in my own company, which I'm not proud to say that this happened, but it did happen. And when I realized it was damaging, we made the decision to change, and we have. But I've also worked in other situations where I've been in client organizations or observing things where team members get severely burned out, overworked. They don't have the support they need. They're asked to do too many things. There's just chaos and stress. And when I see a revolving door inside of a client's organization or inside of a company that I'm close to or doing some kind of work with or observing, when I see a high turnover, I know that there is not proper support and proper expectations for the team. And so that's why it was really important to me to document how I feel about balance and freedom, how I feel about challenges and emergencies, so that we can respond consistently as a team and so that we can truly honor our team members. And keep them healthy and safe and happy, because without a strong team, you don't have a company, and everything will crash down on you, and you will just go through cycles, and you will never be able to break the plateau of that next level that you want to reach, whether it's the type of projects or clients you want to take on, or it's the revenue goal you want to hit, or if it's, you want to get to a point where you can step back from operations or sales or whatever role maybe you've had a lot of time in. You have to invest in creating this space for your team so they can really feel supported and successful. And free to be healthy and be themselves. So our sixth guiding principle here at Business Marketing Engine says balance and freedom. We believe that you are a person first and second a team member. At times, circumstances may vary, but generally we hold fast to a balanced 40-hour work week so that you can be your best, provide your best work, and have an appropriate work-life balance. And we always go over our guiding principles every week with our team. So we cycle through these every quarter, essentially about a quarter, so that they're always in front of our team and they understand who we are, what we believe, and how we intend to operate as an organization. And we also make sure that when we're onboarding new team members that we go through this, because there's plenty of folks who have come to us, like I kind of mentioned earlier on, who have not been treated right. They've been overworked. They haven't been given the resources. They are told, your job is first no matter what. And that's not life or reality. And if you have ever been in that type of situation, or if you have hopefully unintentionally, but if you've ever created that situation, all you're doing is, setting fires inside of your business that are going to burn up and kill the business, kill the organization, and kill what could be a very positive culture if you set a healthy expectation here. When people practice self-care, when they work 40 hours or less, and even in some of our roles, we've had team members work 30 or 35 hours a week for years, and that's been a good fit for them. But when you set a structure and a container and a process and a safe plan for people's working hours, you allow them to be their best, because time with their loved ones, time off for themselves, getting enough sleep, drinking enough water, being conscious and being reminded at work that we care about your health and who you are emotionally, physically, relationally first, that allows them to show up as their best self as a team member. So that's why we say we believe that you are a person first and second a team member, because I will never ask any of my team members to prioritize work over their family. I will never ask my team members to, do things that will ultimately damage their health in the long run, because all I'm asking for is just high turnover, low quality, no, loyalty, no camaraderie. It just all falls apart. And so when we shift this focus and say, if we can help people be their best selves personally, then it's easier for them to show up and do great work. Then everything is so much smoother when we take that approach. The related guiding principle to that, our second one we're talking about today, says challenges are okay, emergencies are rare. We believe that unless someone is bleeding out or actually dying, that we aren't experiencing a true emergency, and we can take time to think, plan, and execute well. When necessary, we take the matches out of the other person's hands. And so we run a full remote team all over the United States and all around the world. We're an international team. And I remind my team and I remind my clients on occasion as well, because we talk through these things with our clients, that we are not ER doctors. We are not ambulance drivers. We are not military contractors. And so we don't deal with emergencies. There are real emergencies out there. When someone's bleeding or die, that's an emergency and it needs to be handled immediately because someone could lose their life. But when a website crashes because something unexpected happened, whether that's a client unintentionally, adjusted something and didn't know the impact of it, or Amazon has a huge outage, or, whatever the other factors are, we're going to jump on that, be proactive and solve the problem, but we're never going to treat it like somebody is dying. And that's the emotional regulation and the difference between saying, this is urgent, we're going to jump in and solve this, we're going to be proactive, we're going to put measures in place to prevent these things. And if we encounter something new, we're going to put new measures in place to prevent these things. But we're never going to treat this like an emergency, because that's not who we are as a team. It's not our culture. And we don't, jump when somebody says jump, because we can't deliver well. That's the main thing. When you put somebody in a state of panic and reaction mode and high emotional strain, all you're asking for from them is poor work and poor results. And so if we want to truly drive at excellence, and get great results and be ahead of the curve for our team, for our clients, and for the results we want to get our clients, then we have to take a proactive approach and we have to eliminate emergencies whenever possible. The last thing in this guiding principle says, when necessary, we take the matches out of the other person's hands. This is something that over the years I've realized that I've done this unintentionally, where I've been given access or input or influence on something that I don't have the experience to manage, or I don't have the time to manage. And so if I poke my nose in there for the team, I just create fires and problems. And so when I observe that, or when my general manager, Danielle, says, I don't know if you should be involved with that, I take that as a really serious, warning to me, to be like, okay, I'm probably creating a fire that's not even a fire, and I'm creating stress and problems, and I'm creating an emergency that's not real. There's been other times with clients who, in the past, I'm really grateful in this season, we've just really, been able to work with amazing clients. But in the past, I would deal with clients where they would get locked out of a website and they would think it was a huge emergency, or they would go in and change a page on their site, or they would mess around with their ad account, or they would do something that they just didn't have the experience, time, or focus to do. And they would mess things up, cost themselves money. They would panic and reach out to us. And so we would then implement a process that says, yes, you can have access to anything you want, but we would ask that you don't access these things, because send a request to us. Let us know what you want to do. I know it feels slower, but we're going to avoid, the collateral damage of something unintentional happening. And so we're going to take the matches out of your hands, because this is where we can really serve you. And so as you think about those two things together, creating balance and freedom and just a lot of support and care for your team, they're going to be showing up happy, healthy, and just in balance, so they'll deliver better work. And then if you add on, number 7, challenges are okay and emergencies are rare, then you can eliminate emergencies. You can eliminate this mindset that everything is a fire, because not everything is a fire. And it's not an emergency in our world, which is why we clearly communicate this, unless somebody's bleeding or dying. And if that's happening, you need to call 911. You need to do something else to resolve that problem. And we'll do what we can to support you, but we're not here to be the firefighters. And so when you take that calm, balanced approach, when you remove emergencies and reactivity, you're creating a space where you can do your best work, you can serve your clients the best. And something that I would really encourage you to think through and ask yourself, what situations inside of my organization, or what situations with my clients, have amped up to this emergency status when it maybe really isn't an emergency? And is that being caused because I'm not clearly communicating what we qualify as an emergency in our side of our organization? Or are these things happening because my team isn't really operating with balance and freedom and health inside of their personal life, so that they can show up, as their best self as a team member and deliver great, results? And so just ask yourself, like, how do we communicate about these things out of our organization? Because when you are thoughtful and you have those conversations with your leadership team, when you ask some of your best clients who have given you good feedback and are loyal, longtime clients, they can give you really good input on how you can show up differently, how you can serve better, and how you can create stability and peace and calm, which ultimately will make things smoother and faster and better in the long run. So I hope this is useful to you. I appreciate you spending time here with us today. I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode.